In today's episode, we break down the classic movie Jaws. We discuss our favorite scenes and talk about how Steven Spielberg created the summer blockbuster. Does this movie still hold up? Join us, won't you?
Welcome back to another episode of the Soundscape Sessions. I am Travis, joined once again by my co-host Malcolm.
Travis,
Yes?
we're going to need a bigger podcast.
Oh,
my.
I like it. See? He was ready for it. He was ready for it.
That scared me a bit.
See? Also joined by my other co-host, Adam.
The thing like Malcolm Travis, the thing about sharks is like, they got eyes, it's like these got these dove's eyes, and when they bite you, it's like they're not even living, Malcolm, on this podcast.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
get eaten by a shark later. For 5,000, I'll kill him 10 to tail. Anyway, that's me. I'm Adam. Hi.
So today we are talking about the movie Jaws,
If you hadn't figured it out yet.
if you hadn't figured it out yet. And
Yeah, can you imagine if that was like another movie?
Adam is doing his best impersonation, and he is dressed as Quentin. And
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw, who plays Quint. He's, which is, such an iconic role.
The best.
I'm doing my best Hooper impression,
Mm-hmm.
and Adam's the shark, or Malcolm's the shark.
Yeah, Malcolm's the shark. He was the ship last time in the Titanic episode. Now he's the shark.
It just means I don't have to dress up. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
He's
Yeah.
like Jim from The Office. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm dressed up.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, I picked this movie. This is a Trav pick because I watch this movie every year around this time when it starts getting nice out again. It's a yearly watch. To me, it's like one of his best movies.
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah, like obviously I'm not going to compare it to like, Saving Private Ryan or Schindler's List or something like this, but
Yeah.
if outside of those movies, I think it's one of his best movies.
It's also one of his first movies,
Yeah.
too.
Also one of his first movies, and it absolutely made like Hollywood realize that holy shit, this guy can put a really good movie together. And, on top of that, we'll get into it. I'm sure you have it in your facts.
Well, don't put too much pressure on me here.
This movie was just littered with, problems on set, post-production, pre-production, all this shit, mechanical errors, all this stuff. So for him to actually pull a movie together that as good as this, seeing through all those problems is actually really, really crazy. And if he
Absolutely.
didn't do that, no one probably would have known who Steven Spielberg was.
Well, the first movie he, I think, did was about, like, this guy that's driving an 18-wheeler, and you, like, never see who he is, but he's, like, terrorizing this guy.
Okay.
So it's just, like, what if that was, like, in the water? And, like, I forget what the movie is called. I hate myself for not remembering. But, like, it's a really, really, it's a really, really interesting concept.
Now you can make me do the work.
Yeah,
Fucking
sorry,
subtitles.
future Travis.
So anyways, yeah. So the movie begins with, teenage angst.
We could call it that.
You know,
We know
you're
how
at
much
the,
I love teen angst.
Yeah, you're at the beach having a beach party, and
Be spontaneous, you know.
it's spontaneous. You want to go like a little skinny dipping and
Yeah,
all
let's
that
do
stuff.
spontaneously.
Who hasn't been there? And she goes out, and this is like a pretty crazy, iconic scene too, right? Just like literally 3 minutes into this movie, and you have this scene, and how they shot it is actually equally as terrifying. She was like, she had a harness over her chest, and it had wires on it that was being pulled by like puppeteers on like either side of her.
Wow.
So she didn't know what direction she was going to get yanked in, like at all.
I don't like it at all.
So her reaction is fairly genuine.
100%. Yeah. Which is like scary as fuck. Like, could you imagine? Like,
Yeah, in the end-
we're just going to like rip you around. Like, whatever. It's like, no big deal.
By the end of it, when she's just like, "Oh God, please help me," it's like real. They
straight
keep
up,
yanking me.
straight up real. But yeah, then we meet Chief Brody, and I like Chief Brody's character a lot because I love how he's kind of a fish out of water in a sense,
Ooh.
you know?
He's not exactly. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, he's not
You like
exactly
that?
completely in control of the situation.
Well, and not to mention too, he's from New York.
Yeah.
He's it's his first summer as the sheriff on, the island of Amity. So that's a big change, going from New York to an island,
For sure. Definitely a
So-
change of pace.
right? You know what I mean? So
It's only an island if you look at it from the water.
That line is so fucking stupid.
Because when the island bites you, and the island's eyes roll back.
But Brody says that, not Quinn.
I know.
Get your facts straight, you drunkard.
That's amazing.
Okay, we'll drink to our legs.
We'll drink to our legs. You're Russian.
We'll get there.
But yeah, no, like right away, again, just like how he responds to like what happened and the incident at the beach, he immediately is thinking like, oh, I will shut it down. Like, which I would assume that's how, a New York cop would act.
Pretty sensible idea.
I mean, it's how anyone should really act if there's a shark attacking people.
I understand that, but like, at the same time, if I feel like if it was an islander and he was the sheriff, he would be like, okay, well, like, let's not cause a panic,
lose our heads
let's
here.
not lose our heads. And I feel like he would be more like the mayor.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
makes sense.
I was wondering that too throughout that first sequence where he's like, let me know if I'm skipping ahead here, but when he's like running around town and he's like getting the signs and he's trying to get everyone out of the water, and I was like, I feel like, I mean, on an island like this couldn't be the first shark attack, right?
But I looked it up. So in that area of like, because it's supposed to be around Boston and what's the
Massachusetts?
Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard. Thank you
Oh,
very
yes.
much. And in 1916, there actually were a series of shark attacks in Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
And that is loosely what the author based the book on.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting.
yes, there had been shark attacks in that area before, but I guess like I don't know, like I guess they were more concerned because of the degree of what was left. Like there wasn't
Yes,
very much
that
left.
makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and then the mayor also does say that like they don't have shark attacks in that area. It has never happened before. That's like kind of his rebuttal. It's like, oh, it probably wasn't a shark attack. It was probably.
Yeah, and but like I mean,
Some kids.
I could see him saying that if it hasn't happened in the last 30 years,
Yeah.
and that mayor doesn't strike me as the smartest guy. in
Listen,
the
let's
world.
not talk trash about my man who has the greatest blazer wardrobe I've ever seen
Right?
in my life, dude.
The
My favorite
anchors.
is I was gonna say my favorite is the anchors one because it looks so fucking cute. Just like you could wear that anywhere. It's like, look at my little anchors. I'm a sailor.
So it's actually pretty funny too. So when they are taking the fucking ferry across,
Yeah.
because this is after the shark attack, and Brody is told that his kid is or not his kid, sorry, just the kids are like doing swimming lessons.
Yeah.
And he says like, take me over there. And then the mayor come up behind him, and there's the guy from the Gazette, the Amity Gazette.
Yeah.
The guy who is from the Gazette is actually the screenwriter of the movie.
Nice.
Oh, interesting.
Love it when they do that.
And the actual, and I like this a lot too, because Steven Spielberg, obviously is pretty smart. So he was just like, well, why not have the guy who wrote the novel, write the screenplay too? So it was actually him and the guy who wrote the novel, and the dude on the beach when they opened the beach on the weekend for July 4th, who's reporting, who's like, it's in the shape of a shark. Like that's actually the writer of the novel
Nice.
and the other screenwriter for the movie. So everybody got their little cameo in there, which I really like.
That's kind of cute.
And then so anyways, so we find out that Brody's a little weary, and they're all like, oh no, I think it was a shark. I think it was a boating accident.
It's a propeller.
And, it doesn't really sit with Brody too well. And then our boy Matt Hooper shows up.
Yeah.
And what's up?
Yeah.
And
Travis shows up.
he does the autopsy and sees the remains, and he's freaking out.
What
Yeah.
a great
This is
scene too.
not a boating accident.
I love his
know?
acting in that scene too. It's
Absolutely.
just he's like like everybody. Okay, first of all, not to go on a tangent, but like everybody's acting is so fucking spot on. in
Oh,
this movie.
100%.
Like the acting is just like top tier. We haven't even gotten to Robert Shaw yet, but I love how in that scene he starts out like pretty like confident, and then pulls the screen back and he's like, and he has to keep his cool because like he's recording, I guess, for like
and like that's a great point, because I honestly think that he's first shocked when the medic, like, because he opens up the freezer thing, like where you keep the bodies,
yeah.
and he literally just takes out like
a tray.
a tray, like, and I think that's like his
must-
first
yeah.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
what's going on
like
here?
that's the body.
Yeah, right. Like where's the body?
What's
though?
left of
Yeah.
it, right? And I just love how like by the end of it he's just like, and he just like throws it down,
Right.
and just like loses it. So
This is not a boating accident.
yeah, exactly,
Like,
yeah.
And I think that was a really cool scene too, just because of how they introduce his character as, he's like fairly calm. He's like joking about how all the idiot fishermen aren't going to make it out of the harbor, and he's like charismatic. And then it gets to that scene and he like loses his cool to kind of like, I guess, really display the severity of the situation to the audience, just how abnormal this shark is.
Absolutely. And it's kind of like, I mean, I'm not sure how it goes down in real life, but it's kind of scary just
I'd like not
because
to.
if Matt Hooper never did show up, this would have been recorded as a boating accident and not a shark attack. So it's kind of,
how many more dogs
How much,
would have had to die before you close that
how much
damn
confidence do you
beach
have
down?
in your local
You know what I'm
PD
saying?
and government?
A few kids here and there, even an animal.
But yeah, going back to when Hooper shows up, another like little tidbit for y'alls. When he gets off the boat and he's just like, "Hello there," and the dude dressed as a fisherman is all just like, "Hello there yourself, young feller." That dude is a real life fisherman from Amity or from wherever that is.
Martha's
in the town.
Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard, and that is who Quint, Robert Shaw's character, is actually
Perfect.
based on.
That's cool.
Probably just got drunk together before shooting.
Oh,
every
I'm
day.
sure they did.
Oh man, what a legend!
They probably went out fishing together.
Come on, show me out of the vision.
So yeah, after Matt Hooper shows up, they also bag the tiger shark, and the whole town is satisfied. Even Brody at first is pretty convinced that this is the shark. Right?
I mean, that breaks my heart too, because he goes in there, he's just like, "Hey!" He's like so happy,
Right?
and I'm just like,
oh, there's no sharks like this in these waters.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
He's like so stoked about it,
right,
he's just
and
like,
then
"Oh."
just Hooper just breaking his like. I hate to make like 100 to 1. 100 to 1.
Yeah.
This is the shark.
Like I'm
It's
just saying, like
just saying.
let's open it. Let's
But it was
open
funny because I wanted to bring this up, not to pull you out or anything like that, but yeah, when we were watching the movie, Malcolm made a joke and was just like, well, what I don't even remember what you said. It was when they were wanting to cut him up.
Oh yeah, like they were like, "Oh, you can't cut the fish up here on the docks," and I was just like, "That's exactly where you would cut a fish up, right on the docks."
We
Like,
can't cut him up on the docks with all this other,
With all this other
fishing
fish
equipment.
guts? What
You
are
know,
you doing?
There's like boats and waters.
No,
and
we got to
like
take them into
hooks.
land, so we got to take out all the fish guts and then throw it in the garbage, and then take out the garbage.
this guy.
Why would we want to just throw that back in the ocean?
But yeah, and then he realized that the mayor says like, and have that little Kitner boy spill out on the dock, and it's like, yeah, that's actually
That would be a bad look.
pretty
yeah.
good call. Pretty good call.
Ruthless. I mean, yeah, he said he is always in the best interest of the town. That's for sure.
Absolutely. But then they end up going and cutting the shark open, and they find out that
The shark drinks a lot of milk.
Yeah, and you find out that sharks drink a lot of milk.
Whole lot of milk.
And they
A
like milk.
lot of calcium in that shark's diet. I'm telling you, man. Like that was like at least like 4 liters. That was like 3 bags in Canadian milk.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But is it Natrel?
Yeah, it's
We must
Nacho.
know.
No, it's lactancia.
Yeah. I realized I went over the Kitner like boy who gets killed in that one scene. That is like a pretty crazy scene. So
It's actually
you mentioned that
ruthless.
you didn't see this whole movie before you saw this.
No.
Yeah, no. So I've like obviously this movie is so iconic that I've like seen parts of it. I've studied parts of it in like film school and just like read film essays about it that reference how this movie uses storytelling, et cetera, et cetera. So I know all the moving parts of this movie, but this was definitely my first time watching this movie from the very beginning to the very end.
Okay. What's your?
And-
Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to
And-
it.
Oh, okay. He's gonna save it for us.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways, the mother shows up and she's pretty pissed off. But it's like I never really got that. I mean, I guess
Well-
you blame the sheriff, but it's like it was the mayor's fault.
Well, he's the public figure in the film who is like kind of like, the sheriff is the one who is supposed to have the safety of the citizens. Like he's supposed to be the one making these calls, even though like that's kind of the tragedy the movie portrays, right? Like he's trying to do the right thing, but then the mayor and the bureaucrats of the city are like, oh, well, no, we need to keep the beaches open. Otherwise we won't make any money this summer, which is sort of
yeah.
that's like the problem the movie presents, right? And then Brody gets kind of caught in the middle, trying to do the right thing, but also kind of like a slave to being the new guy in town who's still trying to like fit in as an islander. But then Mrs. Kitner like blames him for the death of her son. And, you know, like she's a grieving mother. Like,
I love how she shows up just in all fucking black. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like, just to fully, you totally, I mean, I get it.
it is a movie.
I know, but like you could have went home and changed into like a dress or something. Like you're in like your fucking morning gown at the beach.
Like she just
with a
came from the funeral.
giant- yeah, like she literally just came
Yeah,
from the
it looked
funeral.
like she just came from the
Hi, I
funeral.
just buried my son.
I just want you to know that.
I just want you to know that.
But yeah, anyways, so after they find no remains of her son in the shark, they like Hooper, this guy, fucking balls of
Yeah, dude.
like brass or
He makes
whatever.
me
they
uncomfortable, dude. He makes me uncomfortable with how comfortable he is going in that fucking water.
Like nighttime, like fuck it, let's do it. Like
Yeah, let's jump in the water.
yeah, the sharks willingly killed fucking 6 people. Fuck it, I'll get in
Like,
the cage. I don't
he's
give a
like
shit.
he's like the main driving force to convince everybody that there is a shark in there.
Right.
So he goes in the fucking water. Like you
The-
crazy man.
The one scene, like this scene is a dope scene, but the thing that bugs me about it is we see the head. Like he sees the head,
Yes.
and he doesn't drop it at first, and then he looks at it again, and that's when he drops it. It's just like
I think
Drops the
I
tooth
think-
and the.
and the thing,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's supposed to be like he looks at it, but he doesn't fully see what he's
Yeah,
looking
I
at,
get it,
and then
yeah.
he looks again.
I get you, Spielberg.
I mean, listen, man. Give me a call, seriously. I'm looking for work, and I would love to be in a Spielberg movie. My credentials? Take a look around.
But yeah, and then I mean, because he doesn't have the tooth, of course, the fucking mayor doesn't believe him that there's actually a fucking shark.
Any
It's too bad.
excuse to keep the beaches
Oh,
open.
right. Like this guy's just like
Yeah.
money.
He's in like his rainbow blazer by this point.
Right.
He's like full mayor.
Yeah.
He's
And then-
like,
yeah.
as they're telling him about it too, you can see he's like, oh wow, this is pretty definite. Looks like I'm gonna have to close the beaches. Where's the tooth?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh,
Oh, nice.
you don't have the tooth. All right, cool. Plausible deniability. Let's go.
Let's do it. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, but you don't have it. And then what does he say to you? Like, you'd like to prove that, wouldn't you? Put it in National Geographic. It's just like
What a
so
guy.
stupid.
Not until there's like
Oh,
actual
God.
kids, you know?
Yeah, and then I mean, the next day they open the beaches for fucking 4th of July, and the kids. That's a
poor
good
kids.
fake out, man. I love that.
Oh, dude, it was
Yeah.
a great
The kids with the
fake out.
prank, the shark
Yeah,
prank.
100%.
Prank
Yeah.
of the century, dude. You're getting like dabs all day after work or after in school next day work.
I mean that's like such a classic like storytelling misdirection too. It's just like, oh, the shark's in the water, but like it's not the real shark because the real shark's
He's
coming
in the
later
pond
after you
coming
think
for
you're
the
safe.
friggin' main character's son and shit.
Because the real shark was like, I'm gonna chill in a pond today.
yeah. I mean, I think I appreciate how this movie tries to make the like Brody's quest for the shark like personal.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Brody is blamed for the Kitner boy's death. Brody blames himself for that child's death.
His
He takes
son
it pretty hard. His son is then attacked, and like
survives.
I think it's like he survives, traumatized albeit.
Oh yeah, you're not going in the water ever after that. No way.
But yeah,
The
it's
pond?
like it does a good job of like kind of establishing like making things personal for Brody.
Absolutely.
It's too bad he's afraid of water.
Yeah, right. What a damn shame.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, we've already passed it, but yeah, his wife says, like, you never even leave the car when we take the ferry. What is it, honey? And he's like drowning. By the way, maybe we should go take a look at that shark.
Yeah.
Drowning.
Like, he doesn't want to talk about it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, after that, and like Michael gets petrified basically by the shark because it eats his swimming instructor.
He's in shock, yeah.
And they're at the hospital, and finally the mayor decides, like, hey, maybe we should hire Quint to kill this fucking thing. Not without, like, heavy negotiations, though. Like, he, like...
Oh, no, I set my terms very still in the
he
beginning.
does not want to do it still. And then that piece of shit when he's just like, hey, Martin, my kids were on that beach, too. It's just
Yeah.
like... Yeah?
Yeah.
And then he signs it.
And then he signs it.
I mean, I think for me, it was just like I had a hard time. Like, I kind of understand, like, the movie makes the argument the town needs the business. It's a summer town. It needs people to come to the beach. So he has the townsfolk's, like, best interests at heart. But, like, at the same time, man, like, the proof is in the fucking pudding, man.
Yeah.
Like, this shark is eating people. Close the fucking beaches.
No one's going to come to your town if you don't fucking deal with the shark situation.
Yeah,
It's
like, I can't
true.
believe they didn't think of that. It's like, oh, whatever. We'll brush it. We'll brush it away. We'll brush it away. It's like, no, someone is gonna fucking get eaten, and it's gonna be on national news, and no one's gonna come to your fucking town
People are
again.
going to come to your town to see the place where the people got ate and then never go in the water. Cause
Like, I already think, like, at this point, you're fucked for at least,
Yeah.
like, a summer or two.
Because they
For
already
sure.
published that, like, thing. I'm assuming they were going to publish that picture in the paper with everybody, with Brody in it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we got it.
We got
you
him.
know? And it's
Oh,
just
yeah, they
like-
had the huge picture set up.
And then,
hey.
like, 4 people died since that picture got, like, posted. Like, this guy's Bruce is on a kill count.
So yeah, I mean, it was just like kind of hard for me to like. I don't know. It's like I guess the mayor's supposed to be the villain, but like I thought it's kind of tough for me to like. I thought he was just sort of a silly character, is what I'm trying.
He's
to say.
pretty wacky, yeah.
I think, like, Spielberg kind of knew that. That's why he dressed him up like a clown
Yes.
the whole movie.
That's true. I feel like there's a lot of things Spielberg did in this movie that really like lifted it up from like what it was. And like I will like there's so many like the way it's shot, like the framing, the long takes with a lot of the actors
Yeah.
really kind of help elevate this movie from I'm not gonna lie, like I guess we can say it at this point, like the script must have been really bad. Like
The script.
yeah, I feel like the script was like just not really good because the things that make this movie good are like the performances, and like the way Steven Spielberg like shot the movie, right? The characters' motivations are kind of like Quint gets introduced in the very beginning of the movie, and then we don't see him for like an hour, and then we follow Brody around. But then Matt Hooper comes along and he's the one who knows everything about the shark. And he's the one who's like going after the shark and doing all the shark research. And Brody's just kind of like tagging along. Like that being said, like as I said earlier, Brody is kind of the heart and soul of the movie because like his vendetta against the shark is personal. Although like you could argue that maybe like Quint also has a personal vendetta, as we'll talk about later. But yeah, it's just, yeah. So like the mayor is kind of an example of like how the movie is filled with like these weak characters, or maybe not like fully weak characters, but there are plot points of the movie where the characters are weak, and like that scene in the hospital, I think, is like one of them because he's just like my kids were in the water too. It's like, yeah, you fucking put them in the water, and you knew that there was a fucking shark. So it's just it was frustrating at some points. Is what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
I get that. So yeah, Brody, Hooper, and Quint set out on Quint's boat, the Orca,
The orca.
in hunt for this whale. I'm thinking Moby Dick here.
Get out of here. Get it out of there. We're not talking about Moby Dick yet. We're gonna hunt this whale down.
Yeah, where we get the iconic scene where Brody's chumming, and then the fucking shark comes out, and it's just like, you're gonna need a bigger boat. Like,
That's the one of the Mandela effects where everybody thinks we're gonna need a bigger boat or something like that.
yeah.
But he actually says you're going to need a bigger boat.
'Cause
He
it's-
says it like
it's-
3 times too.
Oh, he
Quint,
does.
yeah,
Eh?
it's Quint's boat. Like, so you are gonna need a bigger boat, Quint. I am getting the fuck out. That's Brody. Like,
But he actually says like we're.
yeah, he's like, we're gonna
No,
need a bigger boat, right?
He
Or-
says you are going to need a bigger boat, but everyone thinks the quote is we are going to need a bigger boat. Like
I
even
hope
when
I'm
said,
right. It might be another thing, but I'm pretty sure it's we're gonna need a bigger boat.
well, yeah, like even in the movie Clerks, when they reference Jaws with the salsa shark,
Yeah.
the character says we're going to need a bigger boat, and even I said it earlier in the podcast. When I
Nice.
said,
Oh
we're
yeah, no,
gonna
see,
need a
I know
bigger-"
it's your.
Oh my goodness.
No, but it's the Mandela effect.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah, but so going back to this, like that's really the first time you get like a big shot.
Yeah.
Of the shark, and
Right in your face, man.
it's because Bruce was the name of the shark. I think there was like 3 or 4 of them.
3.
3.
Let's not say all my facts now. Calm down over there.
You could have told me, hey, we'll get to it in the fact.
No, it's okay.
And yeah, they were having mechanical issues the whole time shooting this movie.
Oh, I bet.
So Spielberg had to kind of think on his feet and was like, how could I still make this work? So that's where he came up with the barrel ideas. And it fucking works so much. Because honestly and truly, I have to say that if you saw the shark more than you did, it wouldn't be as good, this movie.
For sure. I 100% agree with that. And I think the creative problem solving they had to do to make the movie work without showing the mechanical shark. And this isn't an original thought. Like everyone says this is what creates a lot of the tension in the movie.
Absolutely, man.
It's like once you see the shark, like once I saw the shark in this movie, I was like, I'm done. We can turn it off now.
Really? Hey? Oh, shit.
Like, yeah, I mean, like maybe not so dramatic. Like I wasn't like, oh, this movie's
1970s.
unwatchable now. But I was just like, yeah, no, the movie ends at that point a little bit. Everything else is just wrap up, I guess, in my opinion.
It is nice how like the barrels act as like the way like of the shark moving and shit and tracking.
Yes.
It's like acts as a representative of the shark's movements and stuff. Whenever you see the barrels move, you're just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Keeps you guessing.
Yeah, and like, and even in the end, well, whatever, we'll get to the end, but I like the shark, man. The hell out of here, bro.
Says the man dressed up as Quint.
Yeah.
I can kill the shark for 10,000.
And speaking of which, the scene when they lose him and they go under the ship and under the ship, like in the fucking quarters of the ship and start drinking, and
That's probably the
you
best.
see Hooper
yeah.
and fucking Quint start bonding.
The best scene in the whole movie, I think, is
100%.
under the decks, bro.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I shouldn't say the movie ends because after you see the shark, because that scene where
It's incredible.
Quint talks about the time on the USS
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Yes.
That is a scene. That is definitely a scene for the edges. Like Robert Shaw,
Robert Shaw was incredible.
absolutely kills that monologue, and that is definitely like probably the best part of the movie that doesn't involve a shark.
Yeah. Can you imagine how good he could have done that if he was sober doing it?
I mean,
Jeez.
yeah,
You would have been.
You didn't get the. I'm surprised.
You would
you
have
don't
really
have-
locked in.
You don't have anything on your in your trivia about that scene.
No.
So half of that scene, he did drunk as fuck, and then the other half he was actually sober, pretending to be drunk, because he went back and watched what he did when he was sober, and he didn't like it at all. And Spielberg was like, "I actually really like this, but if you wanted to redo this part, you could do that." And then he was just like, "Okay, cool." And then, so they redid it. So it's actually half and half.
So did you do the monologue not drunk?
Half of the monologue is drunk, half of it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can always tell with the eyes.
With the eyes.
like
no days. No, I mean that monologue is incredible too, but I really love the part like where him and Hooper just bonding over all their like
Their
scars that they've had from the ocean and their time on the ocean.
Oh yeah, they go from like 3 different emotions, like from the beginning to like somber to like singing again, and then the sharks attacking them at the end. It's just like goes through so many emotions in such
a
like
roller
a
coaster.
smart, in such a tight, compact space. So intimate and interactive,
It's very true.
like on Much Music, intimate and interactive.
And then what's so fucking crazy though is like the boat. So then at the end of that when they're all singing, the shark starts to destroy the boat.
Yeah, it's attacking.
And it's like, and then it's pretty much like flooded.
It's
But
flooding.
That thing's been like
it's
sinking
flooding.
for 2 days,
Right?
It seems like.
But that's when they're like, hey, let's fucking set the cage up. Like the boat's almost fucking sinking.
well,
Yeah.
you said yourself, like by that time they're already kind of like on their way back to shore.
They're getting there.
They're like not there, but like they're like they're not going any farther out at that
No,
point.
shores in the horizon.
In the horizon, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think so. Because I think what happens is they are so determined to go after the shark because earlier when Brody's wife calls the ship and Quint says, we'll be back by dinner.
Oh, okay.
Like that's when they think they're going to capture the shark, and then the shark gets away,
right.
and then they spend the night out there, and then the shark attacks, and they are still like going after the shark.
Yeah,
because-
they're not like quite near the.
and they don't
yet.
like I'm guess I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, but it's the next part where the next day they go after the shark again and they
For realsies
realize
this
they've
time.
bitten off more than they can chew, and that's even when Quint is like, yeah, we'll drive him back to the shallows. Yeah, let's go back to the shallows.
Yeah.
So like they kind of make that decision to go back when they kind of realize they're like frightened by like the shark. They're like, oh, this.
We might not be able to handle this bastard.
Yeah,
but then they put the fucking the cage in the water when the engine craps out.
Well, because they're trapped out there.
They took on so much fucking water.
Yeah. So they're trapped out there. So it's like
the lights are out.
That's your last. It's like a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Send Hooper in the water in a cage. When in doubt. Send this guy in the cage, water.
That's another thing too. I mean, I love Hooper and everything, but I wish there was something a little bit more than that. Like he kind of just swims away, and then you forget about him for a while, and then he just shows up.
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole sequence on the boat like has its good parts and its bad parts. Like this whole movie, really. Like there are some really strong parts in this movie, and then there are some real like kind of head scratching moments, like Hooper and Quint like arguing like constantly and like bickering was like kind of like really frustrating to watch like as an audience member. I guess it's to create tension, but then also kind of like Brody tagging along and being kind of completely useless like the entire time. Like this guy's like a cop and now he's like on a boat. Like I was kind of sitting there being
fish
like,
out of water.
Like why are you here? Like I understand it's personal and you want to get the shark.
That's why.
But like let's be real here. Like this is a shark hunter. It's
true. You're absolutely right, because he also says like when we first introduced to Quinn, he's like, I don't need no mates. There's too many captains on this fucking island.
Yeah.
It is,
so
seriously.
it's like and then all of a sudden you just convince him to like not take one extra person, but two.
Well, he said this is my voyage or whatever. Like I'm the one who's sanctioned by the mayor to make this happen, so I have to be there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who, Brody?
Yeah, Brody does say that to him.
Yeah, and
like,
then Quint just
voyage.
like drunkenly
Just, like,
shrugs.
But then he's like,
I'm not dealing
I
with
guess
this
I'll take Hooper then too.
Yeah. No, and it's just like even if like you're sanctioned by the mayor to like be there, like okay, like he's there, but like he's also the main character of the movie, and he does like absolutely nothing until the boat is sinking, and he gets the gun and makes this miracle Hail Mary shot. That spoiler alert blows up the shark.
Oh yeah, well it took him at least 4 of them to get that.
Yeah.
Which I did like. I thought that was a really cool thing to do.
What do you think about the smile, you son of a bitch? Is that a good line? Is that a good finisher line? I don't think
it's
so.
Iconic.
I mean, this movie's iconic.
Smile, you son
I
of
think
a
for
bitch.
78 when it came out,
pretty rough. Yeah,
it was pretty right
pretty
on.
heavy.
Yeah.
Pretty
man.
right on.
That's pretty far out.
But like now we're fucking 50 years almost later. It's like we're already born past like we had already heard one-liners like.
I mean, I've seen
so many
plenty of
one-liners.
like
Exactly.
my first time seeing a shark kill somebody was Deep Blue Sea.
But I feel like if you were in the audience the first time you saw that in 1978 and he was just like,
hell
yeah, son
yeah,
of a bitch, you're probably just like, all right, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the whole thing exploded. Look at it.
Look at that.
Look
Did
at
you
it.
say you said MythBusters fucking?
Yeah, I think MythBusters disproved that you can just shoot a thing and it just explodes. I'm not gonna go into it, but
They did, so we don't have to.
yeah, that's why I love that show. I miss that show.
Do you guys have any final thoughts on this movie, or shall we roll on to your trivia or your trivia? I keep saying your trivia or your facts.
Well, I mean, I don't really want to go into it too much, but I don't like it when Quint dies.
That scene scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
That scene, yeah. So so the scene with when the severed leg sinks to the bottom, and the scene where he's like getting eaten. I certainly saw that maybe a little bit too young. I mean, it's not the first time.
Same here.
Not the first time. I was one of those kids that got to watch
Gave me
that
nightmares.
shit. Yeah, and it scared the shit out of me, dude. And I really didn't watch this movie a lot after that because of that. But my brothers really liked this movie. It's really nice to like watch it again now with like the same perspective or different perspective. But like, still not a fan of that scene because
the blood in the mouth. Like,
it's
fucking good, man.
It's a decent segue because it ties into one of my favorite facts.
Oh,
so.
Great. Well, let me roll it then.
Do you have anything else?
No, Malcolm.
I was going to do it,
You're
man.
done.
I was cueing you right now, dude.
What's up, man?
Fuck that.
Cut the segue. I got some final thoughts.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, this is an iconic movie, and this is me seeing it for the first time in 2025.
Fuck
nice.
yeah.
Very good.
So definitely kind of late to the boat.
Literally 50 years and 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
not bad.
like, I think there are things, like, I'm going to get some hate. This movie's for sure overrated.
Oh.
Like, This movie is good.
I think this movie is adequately rated.
Because I mean, to me, this movie is like it's like on like must-watch movie lists. It like catapulted like Steven Spielberg's like career.
It did a lot for the film industry.
I mean, there's a lot of like good things in this movie. There are a lot of cool tricks. There's like it's like used in like storyboarding courses and like storytelling courses and script writing courses. Like this movie is iconic. Like it's not bad. It's like better than good. It's like great, but like but like I don't think it's like in this. Like I think there are a lot of movies that came out in this timeline, this era of movie making that are just as good as Jaws and didn't get the hype and didn't get the
Like
the
what?
fame. I mean, I can't list them off the top of my
Well,
head.
you gotta have something.
What about The Warriors?
The Warriors. I mean, The Outsiders.
Not The Outsiders.
The Outsiders definitely gets its full rep. That's a great movie.
The
But not like
Outsiders
Jaws.
Is, The Outsiders
Not like
is
Jaws.
not better than Jaws. But
I'm
like,
not saying
not better.
no. I'm not saying it's better.
Oh no, I'm just saying like in general, just like I was just listing movies, and then I was just like, even to me, like no, Jaws is better than The Outsiders. But like I'm just like in regards to that, like maybe The Warriors. That was a really really good movie too.
I mean, I'm struggling to come up with some names, and like you're gonna. Like,
It's okay, whatever.
everyone's gonna light me up for this, but like there are other movies that like are like almost just as good as Jaws.
Grease.
Okay, well,
But like, and this isn't to say Jaws is bad.
no, I know you're not saying it's bad.
But it's just like, like watching this movie now, like I think obviously like in the context of like time and like how movies have evolved, and like I don't want to discredit like what this movie did, but like if you were to watch this movie for the first time now with like out any context of like film history, it wouldn't hit like it did then. Like,
Well,
I don't know. I think that's a personal
I think
like that's my opinion.
view. Yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna.
It depends on how you're feeling going into it. I think if you're going into it like expecting like this is a movie about a shark that eats people, I think you're gonna be just fine.
No, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
But if you're going into it and you're just kind of like knowing
if you're going into it
it
thinking like I'm gonna
like
about to watch a
if you're
masterpiece.
going into it knowing that of like everything it's done, all the hype that it's done, I think that kind of like you kind of shoot any movie in the foot when you do that.
I mean, I think some movies live up to the hype, especially some Steven Spielberg movies like Saving Private Ryan, like Schindler's List. Some of the movies you listed earlier like definitely live up to their hype and are probably better examples of how Steven Spielberg is really kind of like a timeless filmmaker.
Animaniacs.
Jurassic Park, another one of
Jurassic Park, obviously.
my
Jurassic
favorites,
Park.
like a better Jaws movie, if you will.
Jaws on land.
Jaws on land.
Multiple Jaws on land.
But yeah, like that's all I'm trying to say, I guess, right? Is like, yeah, if you go into
you
this
hate the
movie,
movie.
and you like it's like a shark movie as far as like shark thrillers go. Like this is definitely like the
I think
best.
this is the tippy
Yeah.
top. Like I don't think that Deep Blue Sea came close. But
Definitely not.
this is don't
As much
be
as
hating
Samuel-
on Deep Blue Sea. I love that
Dude,
movie.
don't you dare tell. I love that movie. Every time it was on TBS, I watched it.
If it's
I used
on
to like that
TBS
movie,
right now, I'll watch it, dude. I haven't seen that
Maybe
movie
that's our
enough.
next shark movie.
and Samuel Jackson's speech in that movie is almost on the same level as Quentin's.
If only he could finish it.
Another very impressive thing too for the time, $9 million budget.
Okay.
And it made $476.5 million.
That's why
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg got some more work. They're just like,
Oh hell yeah! They were like, okay,
he's
this
all
guy
right.
can put a blockbuster
Let's
together.
make
What's up?
E.T.
Yeah. Well, it kind of like kicked off the summer blockbuster too. If
I
I'm
think
not
so.
like
I-
mistaken.
It might have been a fact that I read that said it kickstarted that kind of thing too.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Like I said before, if I don't understand it, I'm not gonna say it.
Well, that's a good segue. Let's roll it for your facts.
We interrupt our program. To bring you this important message.
So a lot of people and animals have been eaten in the making of these facts, but
Jesus.
I assure you that they all signed the waiver. So, first fact, as you were saying earlier, the Jaws it's based on the 1974 book Jaws by Peter Benchley. Spielberg named the shark Bruce, as we all know, but do you know why? Or
do.
after who?
I do.
Who?
His lawyer.
Whoa, his lawyer's like, you're looking at my notes, you sneaky devil.
Yes, sneaky devil.
Yeah, Bruce the Shark has 4 minutes of total screen time.
Nice.
Which is like pretty awesome.
insane.
There are also 3 Bruces, and each mechanical shark opened from different areas.
Okay.
Each one cost about $250,000 each. Some crazy town stuff.
That seems pretty cheap, though.
Yeah, I guess for the time. I don't even know numbers. But yeah, this is almost my favorite fact. According to Steven Spielberg, the prop arm looked too fake in the scene where Chrissy's remains are discovered.
Oh, really?
So they buried a female crew member in the sand, and only her arm was showing. So when I watched it,
How you started that?
when I watched it, I looked right at the arm, and I was just like, the thing.
That's amazing.
Thing's fresh. It's just like in the Saving Private Ryan
So
one.
what they did is they killed and buried.
He's not a method director. I told you this earlier. He also shot roughly 25% of the film from the water level to give the viewers the perspective of treading water. And I love that because it makes me anxious.
I just want to say I did notice that during the buoy sequences, when like the buoys are like going around in the water indicating the shark's movements. It's like, yeah, the low angle of the shots really kind of helped sell
Oh, 100%.
of that being the shark.
Oh, absolutely. You always want to get the audience involved, right? Speaking about not getting the audience involved at all, when Miss Kitner slapped Brody, the actress didn't know how to fake slap someone.
Oh, wow.
So they did it like
she actually smacked him.
like 17 times. And he said it was the most painful thing he's ever had to do as an actor. And I was just like, so you had to like listen to this woman tell you that like you inadvertently killed his son. Also, Brody's dog, one of the ones that don't die, the dog in the movie is actually Steven Spielberg's dog, Elmer. And
Nice.
I love that name. So on to my boy, Quint. The boat's named the Orca because orcas are the only known predator of the great white whale.
Great
Love
white
it.
shark, you mean? Mr. Moby Dick.
I got the Moby Dick fact coming up. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. In the original script, Quint was supposed to drown.
Oh.
I think that's what happens in the book too. But it was supposed to be like very similar to how Ahab dies. At the end of Moby Dick, a harpoon gets wrapped around Ahab's like leg or his torso or whatever, and then Moby Dick just like takes him down, and like that's how he dies.
Oh.
It's pretty ruthless. So apparently he wanted
I
to
don't
like
need
kind
to
of
read the
mimic
book.
that. Yeah, don't ever read that book though. So he's apparently like that's how it was gonna end, but they changed it to him getting eaten because it would seem more tragic given his experience on the USS Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It was like just living your whole life thinking like you escaped like your worst fear,
And then
only to just die that way. Because like, I mean, obviously we're actors. You know, I'm talking as if I was a part of the crew. like everybody's like, you know, they're acting and stuff. But like this dude like really, really hurt me as a kid because he made it really seem like he was getting eaten. Like if somebody was getting eaten, that's probably the sounds you would make.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's really fucking it's
Oh,
really
God.
really hard. It was really hard for me to watch, and it began many of my ongoing fear of watching people be in pain or go through torture and stuff. But anyway, that brings me to my favorite fact, because Robert Shaw is obviously my favorite character and actor in this entire movie, next to the shark, Malcolm. Anyway, despite this movie's success, Robert Shaw, Quint, he didn't earn any money out of it. He was facing heat from the IRS for tax evasion at the time.
Oh my
Smooth.
God.
And due to working in countries as diverse as the US, Canada, and Ireland, he had to forego his salary to make amends. Legend!
That
Legend!
is cracked.
My man went down with his
He also
shit.
passed away very shortly
rest
after
in-
this movie
Rest
came
in
out.
peace, Robert Shaw. Legendary performance. I love you in this movie.
What a fact. Very
Yeah.
cool. Thanks for your facts, bud.
And I don't know who to turn it back. Oh, it's you. You're hosting, right?
Well, once again, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, then smash that subscribe button.
Smash the subscribe.
And if you're listening on Spotify, then press the follow button and leave comments and subscribe. Or I already said subscribe, but you should leave some comments and let us know.
Please comment.
Future movie suggestions and let us know how we're doing.
Tell me how wrong my opinion is about Jaws.
Please do that. Yes.
Defend
Malcolm how
Jaws'
wrong he
honor.
is.
But also talk about how all the movies that are just as good as Jaws that I can't think of right now.
Yeah, like I said, like what is it? Like Grease, The Outsiders, The Warriors.
Those weren't any of the movies I was thinking of.
I know they're the movies I was thinking of. Maybe in the future, who knows? Tell us. Comment
below. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. And peace out.
Adios.